So it's hard to believe it's been almost 10 years since we've had this patio. And if you've been following along, I actually did a series of videos on building the patio. We had a very steep backyard, and it took 30 loads of dirt to build up the yard in order to build a flat surface. Then we had erosion problems we had to deal with, and then we had drainage problems we had to deal with coming from the house. And it took quite a bit of work to get it under control and get it fixed. Then after we had the patio put in, we planted a bunch of plants and trees. Those trees have since grown up. Look at the size of these trees. These are massive. They're probably 20 feet tall at this point. Did some drainage. We put a drain here because it was almost impossible to grow grass here because of the slope. So we got a drain here, or catch basin, that then heads down, and then all these I planted. Then there's a main drain down here that leads out into the creek area. I've had zero shifting in the land, which is amazing, and I really credit the geogrid for that. Anytime you build up any type of patio that's over 4 feet up, you put the geogrid, which is just like netting, and then once you then pile all your dirt and everything and patio on top, it keeps it from shifting. And I did geogrid across the whole thing. I actually did double geogrid here because this wall here was already 5 feet built up. And then it was another, 6 feet or so up from that. So there's geogrid under there, and then geogrid under the patio floor there to keep this wall from coming out. So it's really held up great. But as you see, the problem now is that there's this discoloration, and some might say that it's the natural weathering, but I'm going to actually try to use a restoration fluid on it to see if it can remove the coloring. So this video actually is going to be about restoring the natural color. We'll see if this stuff works. Okay, this is the stuff I ended up going with. It's EcoChem 1 Restore, and it's specifically designed for stained concrete or any type of stone. And basically what you're going to do is put it in a sprayer, wet your space, spray it on, and 5 minutes later rinse it off. Main thing is, they say, is don't let it dry on there. So we're going to test it right here and see what it looks like. All right, this is the next day. Just looking, it's definitely a lot lighter. There's still a couple little spots in there, but when you look at where I stopped right there, you can see it's a huge difference. I wasn't really happy with that chemical. It did some things, but so I decided to break out the surface cleaner. If you don't have one of these surface cleaners already, I definitely recommend it. Try to get one that has the highest PSI possible, because it'll just do quicker work. This is my pressure washer. I love it. It's 3,700 PSI. Got a nice Honda motor in it. So as you can see, just using the surface cleaner, it did way better than the chemical did. And I couldn't stop there. I had to just keep going. And what I didn't realize was I was now signing myself up for a pretty large project, because when you're pressure washing the surface, you're also digging out the poly sand, the polymeric sand that's in there. And that meant I needed to now get all new polymeric sand for the entire thing, because I couldn't just stop there. All right, so I have gone over with the lancing tool, which is basically this 0 degree. It's just a straight edge, and I've gone through all these cracks just to blow out what's left in there. You can see there's a bunch of this stuff, the old stuff, and it kind of washed down here. It's just been a few hours. It's kind of like all white, and then it's accumulating over there and accumulating over here. And you can see where sort of oh my, look at that thing. Whoa. That's a really old airplane. Okay, anyway, you can see where I lanced in between all of the cracks, and then so I'm gonna wash the rest of this now. All right, here's the finished product after power washing, and as you can see, it made a huge difference. Oh, we've got our lizards out to say hello. They seem to like it. In random places, there's like little spots where I didn't go over it enough, but for the most part, it is a world of difference. All the underneath here, so all this black, all this, I did all this yesterday. I stopped right here. You can see where I didn't go all the way down around there. I just did this portion over here and all this down here. But chewing out all the old stuff, I'm gonna have to figure out how to get sand down there. But definitely a major difference. No more stain on this wall. So the next step is to put down the poly sand and get it in between all these cracks. Sweep it in. All right, after I activated all the sand, You can see, so there's some that's like filled perfectly. This is what it should look like when it's perfectly filled. And then this is overfilled. So what'll happen is if it's overfilled, this will just wear off. This stuff on the outside will wear out. The sand will come off, and then you'll be left with this stuff underneath. It's where I did sweep it all. But over time what happens is it'll start to accumulate where the water settles. So you can see where the sand has come down. This wall came out nicely. I'm surprised the pressure washer was able to get this clean, but I sprayed directly on, but then I didn't spray downward. And you can see where I missed. Oh well. And then we kept the same table. We got some new chairs. We got a new umbrella. Super nice for this main part here. Those are my barbecue chairs. We did get 4 new chairs here. These are really cheap. They're like $35, I think, a piece. We kept all the original furniture. This stuff is really expensive, but dry cleaned all the cushions. I had removed all the foam pieces, and it was much cheaper to just dry clean it versus getting all new cushions. And then of course we could have gotten new furniture too, but it's just aluminum, so it'll last. It may not look brand new anymore, but save some money there. This is definitely a job you can do yourself. It really wasn't difficult work, but it was time consuming. I probably put about 20 hours total into this myself. Total, it took 240 pounds of poly sand and 4 tanks of gas in my pressure washer. Make sure you wear earplugs because that pressure washer is loud. The actual nozzle is louder than the pressure washer itself. If you have an Apple Watch, you can turn on the decibel meter, and it was 105 decibels, which is definitely, you know, not something you want to sustain on your ears. So, hope this video is helpful. Catch you next time.